Another way to produce sample arrangements is to use the ReDrum module in a non-conventional manner. The ReDrum is a self-contained sampler and pattern sequencer, and any sample may be loaded into the ReDrum channels. Sample trigger events can be stored as patterns and called up from the sequencer. Start by adding a new ReDrum module to the rack. Click and drag on the vertical scroll bar to view the bottom of the rack and click on the black empty space. Next, select the item ReDrum Drum Computer from the Create menu. The ReDrum module will be added at the bottom of the rack, and the auto cable feature will automatically connect the ReDrum outputs to the Mixer Channel 7 inputs. Instead of using samples from the factory sound bank, we will add custom samples from the example files included in the CD-ROM. On ReDrum Channel 2, click on the Sample Browser button. In the Sample Browser window, navigate to the Reason Tutorial CD-ROM and double-click it. Next, open the folder called Reason Files. Inside that directory, there's a folder called Samples, with a subdirectory called Audio Samples. Select the file called comeon.aif and click on the Open button. Open the sample browser on ReDrum Channel 3 and load the file that'sabreakpe.aif. Next, on ReDrum Channel 4, load the sample called wacapella.aif. On ReDrum Channel 5, load the file mkvoxpe.aif. And lastly, on ReDrum Channel 6, load the file jamp01.aif. Now that the samples are loaded into the ReDrum module, we can start programming patterns which trigger the samples to play during the track. Select pattern A1 and press the Run button. Press the Select button on ReDrum Channel 4 and add an event on Step 1. Select ReDrum Channel 5 and click on the Step button 15. Next, select ReDrum Channel 6 and add an event on Step 7. This pattern is a combination of a female vocal and a speech sample. Use the key commands to copy and paste pattern A1 to pattern A2. Select ReDrum Channel 6 and click on the Step 7 button again to disable the event. Now we have a pattern with only female vocal samples. Select pattern A3 and add a ReDrum Channel 3 event on Step 7.
That's a break.
Using the key commands again, paste a copy of pattern A1 to A4. Click on the Select button of ReDrum Channel 3 and add a trigger event on Step 13.
That's a break. That's a break. That's a break.
Next, select Channel 6 and click on the Step 7 to disable the trigger event.
That's a break. That's a break.
Click on the Trigger button on the ReDrum channel to preview the sample as well as the pitch, pan, gate, and level settings of the ReDrum channel. This is a quick way to listen to the settings of each sample. There are two factors to be aware of when inserting samples: pitch and timing. The pitch knob on the ReDrum channel controls both of these aspects of each sample. Press play on the transport to hear pattern A2 play with the rest of the arrangement. You will hear the two female vocal samples trigger at different points of the pattern. These two samples are not tuned with the track and require some adjustment. On ReDrum Channel 5, adjust the pitch knob down to -10. This setting harmonizes the pitch of the sample with the bassline melody. On ReDrum Channel 4, click on the pitch knob and adjust the setting up to 10. Now, these female vocal samples are tuned with the track. The timing factor is more relevant with spoken voice samples. The pitch setting can be used to increase and decrease the playback speed of these samples. On ReDrum Channels 3, 4, 5, 8, and 9, there is also a sample start adjustment, which can be used to offset the start point of the samples. Select pattern A3 and press Run on the transport to hear the pattern play along with the phrase arrangement. The sample on channel 3 is set to trigger once per measure, but the timing does not match the rhythm. Increase the channel 3 pitch setting to 6. This increases the playback speed, so the sample plays at the same time as the music. Even though the playback speed seems right, the timing is off. We can use the sample start setting to offset the starting point where the sample plays back. Increasing the channel 3 start setting to 41 will change the start offset so that the speech synchronizes with the rhythm. Now that the timing and pitches have been set, we can create some patterns that fit with the rest of the musical arrangement. Starting with a basic vocal sample trigger idea, select pattern A5. Then press the Select button on ReDrum Channel 4. Now add a medium accent trigger event on Step 1. Using the key commands, copy pattern A5 to A6. Select ReDrum Channel 2 and add a medium accent event at Step 15.
Come on.
Paste another copy of pattern A5 to A7.
Come on.
Select ReDrum Channel 6 and add a medium accent event on Step 1. Copy pattern A7 and paste a duplicate on pattern A8. Select ReDrum Channel 5 and add a medium accent event on Step 15. Now, we will automate the pattern changes for the ReDrum patterns. Select the track ReDrum 2 from the track list and enter Edit Mode. Disable all of the lane views except for the pattern lane. Set the resolution to bar, then enable the Snap to Grid function. Enable the Pencil tool and select pattern A5 from the pull-down menu and draw in a pattern change from measure 1 through measure 17. Select pattern A6 and pencil in a pattern change at measure 8 for 1 bar. Select pattern A2 and pencil in events from measure 10 through measure 16. Finally, draw in a change for pattern A4 at measure 16. Double-click the Stop button on the transport bar to rewind the sequencer back to measure 1. Press play on the transport bar to hear the ReDrum vocal sample arrangement as it plays along with the rest of the phrase arrangement.